hear something. What's that? You hear it? Wait a minute. I know I hear something. Becky, Becky, listen to me. Dealing with a dusty. Becky, Becky, all can you see? They will only harm thee. Dang, Becky's ancestors trying to talk to her. But she don't hear him though. Yes, indeed. It's the same thing with the black women's. Everybody think that black women don't know what they're talking about. That's just you because he doesn't want you. He wants me. And now you got to pay a Tyrone tax. You got to pay a little TT. Let's go ahead and get to it. And then I'm going to tell you why I say what I say. Okay, Becky. Girl, do what you're going to do. We're not praying for you, not wishing no harm on you. We're going to sit back and just have our little popcorn. Okay? So, what not to do when dating a black man. What you don't want to do, first of all, is get your behind on social media for the whole world to see that, hey, guess what, Dad? I'm going to defy thee. I got me a black man, or I'm dating a black man. Yeah, Dad, I know you're mad. You want attention. You want attention. You want to try something a little different. When dating a black man, again, don't get on social media. When the problems come, and they will, okay, you've hooked up with Tyrone, thinking it's going to go right because you're white. Yeah. So when you're with little TT Tyrone, baby doll is guaranteed to go wrong. Okay? So the other thing not to do is to get with your family and your friends and pour your heart out and talk about how he is disrespecting you and not treating you like a queen. Oh, are you trying to see what some of the black women mean? Okay. No, don't do that. If you need to talk about those issues, go to a counselor. But don't go to your families, your friends, and sure as hell, do not go to your coworkers. You're going to regret it. Yeah, you're going to regret it. So no social media. Don't go to your family, friends, and coworkers talking about your problems. Okay? Don't go trying to put some box braids in your head thinking that is cute. Okay? Or all of a sudden you want to go ahead and go kente cloth. Not that's your style, your fashion, I get it. But you got Latita on your arm and you want to show how you're so versatile. You want to show that, guess what? I'm accepted in my community and in the black community, or in your case here, more than likely in the dust bucket community. That is what not to do. When the relationship is over, and chances are it will be, when the relationship is over, what you don't need to go do is holding on to all these gifts that you bought Tyrone, or maybe a gift that he may have gotten you, especially if it's some cheap trinket. If and when it is over, you need to go ahead and discard all those things. All right. You don't need a trace. When you try to go and step back into your whiteness and get with a white male, you need to make sure that you are Tyrone, aka dust free. You don't need a slither, anything to pinpoint that you've been dealing with Tyrone. You don't. You need to go ahead and erase everything. I don't care if it's a card that made you laugh. You need to go ahead and wipe the slate clean. Let me tell you why. And I already know you think you already know so much. Matter of fact, it's hilarious to a lot of black women. You think that you know black men more than we do, all because you see a few things on YouTube or in these social media streets. You see the disparaging remarks, and a lot of times you can't get the quality men in your group. So for you to feel special, you're gonna have to go ahead, bust down, and date a chocolate drop that's dipped in brown. Totally get it. Totally get it. Because you're not being praised where you are. Totally get it. But you might want to listen to me. I'm trying to help you out, okay? You might want to take note. So let's talk about why the heck do I say this? I've had a front row seat. So, Becky, she dated Tyrone. Now, it started out as a date, but it went a little differently. She was labeling it as a relationship. So it started out as a date, but then it just changed where he would basically call her and not take her out to dinner, not take her anywhere, any gifts, nothing. It then resorted to him calling her and just showing up. And this, by the way, was your educated lane. Oh, yeah. Clocking nice money. So she thought, from what I can see, oh yeah, well he's making money. This is no, he's got money, and she come from a little change too. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. He knows how to treat me. So the dating stopped, and then it just came down to a little penny drop. Mm-hmm. He traveled, given his career. He would come in and out of town, call her, not even say, hey, meet me at a restaurant, not like, oh, this is your size. Guess what? Here's a card, like a lot of women do, in a relationship, go buy yourself something nice, and you go buy a nice dress, you go buy lingerie, and he just pays for it. That's how it goes a lot of the time. He didn't do that. He just started calling and then just showing up. Yo, what you got to eat in the fridge? And then just on to the bedroom, bada bing, bada boom, and he's out. She kept the charade up. Again, this is your educated lane. This one has got a little something. And I don't know if he had a degree. I just know that he has a good, he was making nice income. So she started to get frustrated by this here, and she started to talk to her friends and family about it. How he's treating me is not acceptable. It got so bad, she went to her dad, and her father's like, okay, this is not a relationship. I don't approve of it. I want to have a talk with this young man. And I was like, you really don't get it. You're going to have a talk with him and say and do what? You might get more than what you're barking for. Just saying. But I know I'm a black woman. I don't know anything about these black men, these dust buckets. I don't know anything about black culture. Okay. I want to sit and have a talk with him. This is not acceptable behavior, okay, for my daughter. And this is not a relationship. He said, this is just essentially a booty call. And he cannot be treating you this way. So she knew not to have her dad meet with him. More than likely wasn't going to show up. So her dad gave her some advice of what's acceptable and what's not, and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Becky weak, thinking, and I think in this case here, she's so determined that no, this is how he may have been with black women. I am white, it's going to go right, and it just went wrong with Tyrone. So she stayed in it for a hot minute. Okay? Fast forward. His birthday came. Well, he's in town. I know it's coming. His birthday came. She went and got him a gift. And guess what? He didn't show up. He stood her up. Not even a phone call. Gift, card, dinner. She's planned this. So you determined to have a relationship with this Dusty. Yep, the birthday came and he did not show up. She tried to call and talk to him. Boom. That was it. So it didn't show up for the birthday. He's not taking your call. It sounds like he's moved on. And now you upset. He can't be treating me like this. He already did. He already did. He's about land and playing. But you knew this. But you thought, I'm going to change it. Is he a baby daddy? Yes. But you already knew this. But you thought, oh, well, that's to a black woman. And, you may hear a few things, somebody else may know him or heard of him, hear a few things, check out his social media. There he are with some kids and never been married. Are there two or three? Oh, three kids? But you thought, oh, that's her. That's not going to do this to me. I'm educated Becky. You don't understand, honey, you're dealing with a Dusty. So he's already dumped her. He's moved on. There's no closure. Tyrone is just gone. So now she's going to go ahead and go back to Peter Pan land. So this time she met another man. And this man, I'll just say he has a legal background. Okay? She back with Peter. Now, on the advice of her dad, on the advice of her father, she knew to shut the heck up. Don't go discussing your personal life, how you've been dogged out, especially by a Dusty, by a clown dipped in brown. That's what you don't want to do. So she knew to listen to her dad, and I commend him to say, hey, you know what? A new relationship, just leave the old in the past. Don't even talk about it. His word, when he's saying not talk about it, to me, that meant he doesn't want this white educated man to know that she'd been dipping in dust land. And she didn't. She kept it, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Just don't even talk about it. Because as a white man, he already knows the thinking process, hell, is somebody like him in their culture. He knows what's up. So now this relationship is going okay. They're actually dating, for crying out loud. They are dating in a relationship. It progresses. They then go ahead and he decides to ask her to go ahead and move in with him in his condo. And she does. So she has a lease. She moves in with her new man, okay? A Caucasian guy. Somebody from, in her culture. And he does come from some means. I think they have like 14 properties. When I say properties, they've got like two, what is this? How they have those mini malls, shopping centers, you know what I mean? Two of those. Man, they've got a couple of leases for restaurants where they own the building. They lease them out to the restaurant owners, and they have some residential properties. So they've got commercial and residential properties. They've definitely got some means. So they've done well for themselves. So now her dad's like, okay, good. She's back to white. They've got some money, so it's all right. Because see, their fathers, I hate to say it, especially when they have money, they want to make sure that their daughters can be taken care of, especially when they themselves have been providers. Dusties don't understand that. So I don't want to get off the subject. So now she is dating, a white man that has money, come from a similar background like hers, pretty close, financially speaking. And now he's asked her to move in. Again, she has a lease, he has a condo. So she agrees and she moves in. Um, when they start to move in, of course, she can't take all of her stuff from her apartment to his condo because, I'm not sure. I think he has like, is it 3 bedrooms? So he had like a little place, like when the guys come and hang out, things like that. So at this point, she pretty much moved in some things that she wanted to keep. And then she put the rest of her things in storage. And she figured, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this in for now, making some adjustments because, again, his place is already furnished. So she takes in what she's going to take in over to his new place. They're moving in together, puts the rest of her things in storage. As customary, those guys, and it's been my experience, a lot of black women, well, I'll just say some, but typically they pretty much handle a place to live. They'll pay for some people do 50-50, but a lot of them, I'll just say it's not uncommon for them to go ahead for the guy, especially, older. Um, they'll pay for the whole place. Okay, so you're not coming in paying rent. Nowadays, it's different. A lot of these young people, regardless of race, they're splitting, they're paying half. I totally get it. Okay, that's what they're doing. But got a little means, he's pretty much doing it that way. So he's paying for the rent and he's paying for the utilities. She's basically paying for like streaming devices and stuff, very minimal. So, hey, she's working. She's not having to pay a lot of money out. So, of course, she can save and she can invest, yada, yada, yada. So they move in and things are going well. Now, this is maybe like the summer. So now we've got like the New Year comes along. They decide to do some spring cleaning. Okay. So she's got the storage, and he's very money conscious. But don't forget this. So don't forget what I'm telling you. He's paying for the place. He's paying for the utilities. The grocery store. They kind of both do that. If he goes to the store, he pays for everything, and if she goes, she may buy some things. But again, the chick is working, so you're just paying for streaming devices and her other expenses that she may have. You don't have college debt, school loan debt because daddy's paid for that. So you don't have to worry about a car because daddy's paid for that. Oh my goodness. She has to pay her insurance and she's paying for her streaming. All changes. So minimal. And you're making a decent salary. And you wonder why they don't come up. So now that they decide to do some spring cleaning, he's getting rid of a few things. She decides to go ahead and go to her storage and maybe pull a few more things out. It's like, hey, you don't want to just keep paying storage. So get what you're going to keep, maybe sell the rest. You can sell it or, donate it, whatever. So they decide to go ahead and kind of work on this together. So on a lovely, lovely Sunday, they go to the storage and she's getting a few things that she needs. I think some of the bigger ticket items that we're going to go ahead and try to post, like on Craigslist, and go ahead and sell those. You know what I mean? And what doesn't sell, get rid of. Totally get it. Plan. So he's helping her too. They're doing it as a couple. So then he starts going through some things, and guess what he sees? He sees a gift. And I would think too, you got a gift that's gift wrapped in the storage? What's this? So he looks through it, he's going through it. There's a gift, unopened, and there's a card. Well, he opens up the card. And of course, this is from her man, from little TT, Tyrone. He reads a card with a name. I'll just say, for example, like Jamal Jones. Well, you already know, first of all, Jamal, and then Jamal Jones. You know, Jamal DJ Jones. Jamal then DJ Jones. Then you already know that's a black guy, more than likely. Really? So he reads the card and then he sees the birthday card. So then he sees a gift. He asks Becky about it. What's this? And keep in mind, she had listened to her father. Don't mention that relationship. Keep your mouth shut. It doesn't need to be discussed. Don't talk about it. And that's wise. But I know you think you know everything. The sisters done told you about how these dusties do, and you think we don't know. That's okay, girl. You got it. So she got a nice little setup. So he asked about like who is this, and oh, you dated this guy? What's in here? And then she's like, oh, you can open it. Oh, okay. You got him a nice gift. So of course, you're living together. Now inquiring minds really want to know. So he asked about, Jamal DJ. So you dated this guy? Is he African American? And by the way, the man that she's with, he's like the whitest white guy ever on the planet. Do you hear me? Oh my goodness. He is and he's one of those guys that's also a control freak. He has to control everything. Oh wow. He can be a bit to take. I've heard about him. Anyway, he has some questions. And she now, given the name that he's seen it, now she's giving him the information. She feels relaxed. She's on, they're in a new relationship. It's going well. Whatever. So she goes ahead, opens up her big mouth, and tells him about the black man that she was dating. And why it didn't work out. Don't be dumb, girl. Listen, your dad and I told you even before that. Black women have told you, but I know everybody thinks black women don't know what we're talking about. Okay, girl. Okay. So now she's giving him the lowdown as to why it didn't work out. So now the man know you've been dogged out. And not just dogged out, but by one that's dipped in brown. It changed the trajectory of the relationship. Now he knows about you dating for a short period. Then it just turned into a BC, just a booty call situation. And you were still trying to hang on. And now he's realized because you're going to be honest about it and tell him the truth. You don't want any lies. Now he's realizing, hmm, in his mind, I think he was thinking, you've been dealing with dumpster diving dick. And you let him dog you out and use you, and he dumped you, and now you with me. That changed the trajectory. Hmm. But I know, girl, you think you know everything. You think you know everything, and you don't. A lot of people like that. Nobody knows everything. So now he got the 411, realizing that she been dealing with a dust bucket, dumpster diving dick, and now you're in his bed. So he knows all about the BC because she opened up her big mouth and told him the booty call. He's got the guy's name. He lives on Facebook. Now he checks the guy out, and like I said, he has a law background. Yeah, he's an attorney. He's a lawyer. So he's on the dude's Facebook. Check the guy out. So they go ahead and get the little storage issue resolved. Taking what she's going to take, sell the rest, and then it doesn't sell, give away, yada yada yada. In the meantime, he's checking out little TT, and he's seeing his Facebook, and he's checking him out more so, and realizes little TT does have some money. He's just ratchet. He's still dusty. This is your educated lane. This is what we have told you about. He educated and he's still lame. He's still a dust bucket. He's still creating baby mamas. That's what they do. But you thought, no, 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 no. You thought it was JBW. It's all right. It's all right. JBW mama, just be white. Girl, listen up, buttercup. So now he has checked him out. This is who this is. I don't think he found any felonies, nothing like that. He just found a typical Dusty. He just found some baby mamas. Never been married, baby mamas. Find some kids and see a whole bunch of party and just, typical dust bucket fashion. And they got a little something. You think you're it, but you just live like loose, SHIT. You know what I'm saying? After he's done that, again, I knew. I'm like, man, I can have bet what he was thinking when it went down. After he's done that, guess what happened? He realized she got the harsh lesson that his stock has gone down. Oh yes, honey. He might have thought you were a buy. That's why he dated you and asked you to move in. But now this right here with the little storage thing. See, she's forgot about it. She's thinking, oh, I'm in. It's going well. He's an attorney. It's going well. We're both educated. Yeah. He's checked out little TT. Next thing you know, out of the clear blue comes the Tyrone tax. He's telling her, oh, so he starts also checking the more into her. And what do you think he did? He did a Tyrone tax. He told her, uh, going forward, he was checking, and he told her that he realized that her credit was bad. And I was like, why is he checking her credit? They're already into a relationship, And I'm just saying this to myself, like, this don't make any sense. I'm listening. Her credit is bad. And I noticed, and then the way I said, oh, so what he's trying to say is he trying to say, which I don't agree with, you're trying to equate her dealing with the black man that her credit has gone bad. So I don't know if she was buying him gifts a lot or giving him anything, because it didn't make any sense for him to give him money. Seriously. The dust bucket, I can assure you, he has his own money. So I'm not buying that. I just think sometimes when people get mad, they want to try to put anything on a person, try to say, as a result, you're dating him, your credit is bad. So then, guess what happened? He then tells her He thinks it's now a good idea for them to split the rent and that she needs to pay her part, which is $1,800 a month. Now keep in mind, she has not even seen a lease agreement. Okay? Hasn't seen he's just telling her what to pay. So now all of a sudden, since this change, and it wasn't about the move, no, in my opinion, I guarantee you it's about him finding that stuff in that storage about Jamal DJ Jones. Okay, which that is not the real guy's name, just so you know, but I'm just kind of getting a little close to it. So now he wants her to pay half the rent, which is $1,800. Hold on, we're not done. Now, aside from paying half the rent, he wants her to also pay half the utilities. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. Whoever goes to the grocery store, if they go and buy bulk items, he wants them to go ahead and pay half on the food bill. So now all of a sudden, you want to switch the game up to a 50-50 game. Are you kidding me? It got worse. He stopped going to the grocery store and pretty much let her know that's a job that she can do. And guess what happened? She ended up paying for all the groceries, leaving a receipt out. He didn't pay his half. Now, at that point, that lets me know. I said, oh, I wonder if he's trying to get rid of her. Oh, and don't forget, by the way, when they moved in, the families have met. Yeah, the parents have met. Because I was like, oh, are they getting married? That's what I thought, families getting together. Are they getting married? The families have met. So all of a sudden, when I say she's now paying a TT for that man to change up on you, that tells me, yeah, in my opinion, you paying a Tyrone tax. Mm-hmm. Your stock has just gone down. He might have thought you were a buy. Looks like now he's marking you, girl, as a sale. And there'll be an update on part two, because guess what? I can tell you as of late, as of this week, you now been reduced to, what is it called? A void. He asked you to move in. He thought you were a good stock, of good stock. He thought you were a buy. You were set to perform or maybe outperform. Now it's set to, he got you rated, girl, based on what's happening as underperform. So now you got to pay the what I call TT, Tyrone tax. Pay $1,800, and that is the amount. 18. They don't know about my Patreon, so I'm not worried. Even if they were, I do not care. $1,800 for that rent. You pay for all the groceries yourself, because now he doesn't go to the store anymore. It's all on you, and you're paying half on utilities. Wow. Now you've learned your lesson. You're paying your Tyrone tax. Your stock has gone down. This man does not see you as the same. As I said, Becky went black and couldn't go back. She went black. She was able to slide in back, because again, he didn't know about this. But now it's come to light. Now he's charging her, talking about her credit. And I thought about it. Okay, so if her credit is bad, why would you charge her? Because if people have an issue with their credit, more than likely the credit is bad because they had a financial obligation that they could not pay the creditors. That's why it's bad, unless it's some kind of stolen identity. He started going through all her information. It was crazy as hell. Then it escalated. I'm hearing reports he's going through fits of rage, howling and yelling so that when he gets so angry, you know what she's been doing? Leaving the condo, just going for a walk outside until he calms down. And it's like, well, what is it? What is the issue? The least little thing. Talking about politics, he goes crazy. Was he doing this before? I just came out and said it. He wants you gone. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try to, well, let's just see. he wants you gone. Because see, now he's seen a little gift. The whole little gift has brought everything out. He's been on Facebook, checked the guy out. Now he's got a visual. And how do you know? He's not going on Facebook, I don't know if she is I think maybe she may still have him as a friend request. So this guy's controlling. He checks the mail. He checks the mail. If it's a statement about her finances, I couldn't believe he is opening up the mail. So I'm thinking, I don't really do Facebook like that. I'm thinking she must still have a friend request of that guy on there. And I'm thinking he must be checking it. So now it's got an imagery. So yeah, now all of a sudden she has to pay half the rent. She needs her $1,800. Guess what? She got sick. She got sick and she had a surgery. Want to hear something that's so, I'm like, wow, it's time to go. She got sick and had surgery, and guess what? He wouldn't even pick her up from the hospital. She had to call in a family member that had to hop on a plane to come and help her. See, that's part of your Tyrone tax. First, move in, be a woman. You don't have to worry about it. He'll take care of the rent, the utilities, the food. You're doing okay. Now he done found out about little TT. You got to pay your Tyrone tax. Pay half the rent and the groceries and the utilities. Now he's going into these little fits of rage, hollering at your ass like something crazy. Now you have a surgery and he can't pick you up from the hospital. You got to do what? Somebody got to hop on a plane to come help you. What does that say? That is your Tyrone tax. We already told you. A lot of times you go black. Becky went black and couldn't go back. Becky went black and couldn't go back. Don't be mad at me. Holla negativity. And now you got to pay a little TT. Now you got to pay the Tyrone tax. So what not to do when you're dating a black man? Social media, your friends and your family, complaining and crying and whining on your job. That's what not to do. Anything that's linking you and little TT or a Dusty, what not to do not keep it around. You need to, if you're going to try to go back to white, okay, you're going to have a clean slate. Unbefriend the person on Facebook. Don't even talk about it on your IG. Nothing. Any resemblance, any gifts that you bought or he bought, let it go. Oh, this card is so funny. You might want to trash it, honey. But again, it's okay. I know everybody thinks that black women don't know what we're talking about. She done learned the hard way. She went black, and guess what? Her educated, wealthy white man is sending her ass back. I'm out.